Beloved, life will always serve you storms, whispers of disrespect, glances of disregard, and words dipped in fire meant to sting. But the soul that has found its stillness cannot be shaken. You were not born to be controlled by noise or moved by mess. You are not a puppet to others' moods. You are the keeper of your peace, the master of your emotions, and the author of your response. So today, let us gather our hearts and speak of the sacred art of being unbothered, unburnt, and beautifully unshaken when you've walked through your own storms, cried tears that tasted of truth, and stood back up when the world said you wouldn't. There's something sacred that settles in your soul. That something is identity, when you know who you are not from the mouth of another, but from the whispers of your spirit. You become unshakable. No one can rattle your peace when you understand your worth. People will try to label you. They will toss names at you like stones, hoping one will bruise you deep. But a person anchored in their own knowing does not bleed from lies. You see, the problem is not what they call you, it's what you answer to. And when you've done the work, real, quiet, soul-breaking work, you learn to stop answering to anything beneath your calling. Someone calls you weak, but you know your strength was forged in silence. Someone calls you arrogant, but they didn't see the nights you fought self-doubt. Someone calls you cold, but you were just protecting a heart too big to bleed out again, so you no longer flinch, you no longer defend, because you no longer need to. There is a power that comes from silence, not the silence of fear, but the silence of confidence. The kind that says, I don't have to explain who I am because I live it. When you move through life with that understanding, people's opinions become background noise, a wind that blows but never sways your roots. Because you, beloved, are planted in purpose, and purpose does not panic when the crowd screams. Purpose listens to something deeper. It's easy to get caught up in proving people wrong, in clapping back, in showing your worth to those who are blind to it. But that's a trap. Your energy was not made to be wasted in battles that don't build you. When someone throws shade, let it fall. You've become your own sun. When they question your journey, smile gently. They weren't called to understand it. You were called to walk it. And every time you choose peace over reaction, you reclaim your power. Not the loud, angry kind, but the soft, unstoppable kind that rebuilds nations from silence. The kind that looks in the mirror and says, I know who I am. I've paid for this peace. I've earned this strength. And no one, not one soul, gets to take it from me. So when the world tries to tell you who you are, pause. Listen not with your ears, but with your spirit. If it doesn't align with what you know deep down, let it go. Let it pass, and stand tall, knowing that the only truth that matters is the one that already lives inside you. There's a certain dignity in walking away untouched by the mud others try to pull you into. Some folks live for drama. They bathe in it, breathe it, build their identity around it. When they see peace, they want to disrupt it, not because you've harmed them, but because your calm confronts the chaos they've made peace with. But when you know better, you don't dance with foolishness. You don't descend into battles that don't grow you. You learn the sacred art of walking away without losing a piece of yourself. You see, it's not cowardice to stay quiet. It's courage. It's choosing the high ground when the low road is easier. Pigs are comfortable in the mud because that's their natural state. They roll in it, play in it, find joy in its filth. So when someone drags you into conflict, tries to rattle your soul with words sharp as knives or petty provocations, remember, they're trying to make you leave your temple. Don't hand them that victory. Don't trade your peace for their mess. It takes more strength to be still than to strike back. Anyone can lash out. Anyone can raise their voice, stomp their feet, and spit venom. But it takes a rare spirit to remain unmoved. Not because they're weak, but because they've been to war with themselves and won. They've tasted chaos and chosen not to serve it anymore. And when you've reached that place, you look at petty people with compassion, not contempt. You see them for what they are, unhealed, You don't have to match their volume. You don't have to mirror their madness. You just breathe, stay rooted, and keep walking. Don't let small-minded people shrink your spirit. Don't let them bait you into becoming someone you've outgrown. When you react to nonsense, you validate it. But when you rise above it, you disarm it. They expect you to clap back. They expect you to fight. So when you don't, when you smile instead, when you let silence speak for you, you take all the power out of their hands and return it to your own. You are not required to entertain chaos. Not every comment deserves a reply. Not every insult deserves a retort. You are allowed to protect your peace like treasure. You are allowed to say, "This is beneath me," and mean it. Your energy is too sacred to be spilled over foolishness. And once you understand that, you stop letting every fool have access to your emotions. Let them talk. Let them twist your words. Let them rage. That's their business. Yours is to remain who you are, calm, focused, and unbothered. Because when you no longer dance in the mud, you start flying above it, and no one, not even the loudest pig in the pen, and reach the sky where you belong. There is a holy weight to your energy, and not everyone is worthy to carry even a piece of it. Not everyone deserves to sit at your table, let alone be fed by your spirit. Yet how often do we open the gates to our peace without checking who's knocking? We let people in because we feel guilty, obligated, afraid to seem cold. But what's colder than allowing someone to keep draining you until there's nothing left? You must learn to guard your energy like it is sacred, because it is. Your peace is not a public playground, it is a temple. You wouldn't leave gold lying in the street. You wouldn't hand your home keys to a stranger. Yet we allow people to trample through our spirit unchecked, uninvited. They come with gossip, with bitterness, with heavy hearts and sharp tongues, and we let them stay out of fear we'll seem harsh. But boundaries are not cruelty. They are clarity, and clarity is love, for yourself first. Some people are like spiritual leeches. They feed off your light, not to be healed, but to stay in the dark a little longer. When you feel tired after a conversation, when your chest feels tight after a visit, when your joy fades after a message, it's not just coincidence. That's your spirit telling you this isn't safe. Listen. Protect that voice. Too many of us ignore it, then wonder why we're weary, irritable, and angry for no clear reason. It's because we're carrying energy that doesn't belong to us. You do not owe access to anyone who disrupts your calm. You can love someone and still keep them at a distance. You can forgive someone and still deny them entry. You are not cruel for choosing peace. You are not heartless for saying, "This energy isn't for me." In fact, that is the beginning of healing. That is the work of a soul that knows its value. People will call you selfish for putting yourself first. Let them. They called you soft when you gave too much, and now they'll call you cold when you give less. But you are not responsible for how they label your boundaries. You are responsible for your own well-being. You are the gatekeeper now. Every word that reaches your ears, every presence that enters your space, should be filtered through discernment. Ask yourself, does this feed me or deplete me? Does this grow me or pull me backward? Your time, your peace, your spirit, they are not things to be casually handed out. They are earned, and the ones who truly see you, truly love you, will understand that. The rest, let them talk, let them walk. You've got a life to build, and it can't be built on ground that's been trampled by chaos. Choose wisely who gets access, protect your light, because when you start guarding your energy like treasure, you stop being pulled into every storm. You become the calm in the middle of it. There is a freedom that walks hand in hand with forgiveness, not the kind that excuses wrongdoing or forgets the pain, but the kind that releases you from being shackled to it. People will hurt you. They will say things that cut deep, betray your trust, twist your name. That's the nature of walking through life with an open heart. But you don't have to carry their damage forever. Forgiveness isn't about them. It's about you. It's not a gift you give the offender. It's a gift you unwrap for yourself. Too many souls walk around holding pain like it's part of their identity. They rehearse the offense, replay the insult, and revisit the betrayal until it becomes a permanent resident in their mind. But what you feed grows, and what you refuse to release controls you. That's the thing about anger. It wears your face, but it doesn't belong to you. It lives in your body heavy and loud until you evict it with grace. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is strength softened by wisdom. It is the choice to say, "This may have hurt me, but it will not define me." You don't forgive because they apologize. Many won't. You don't forgive because they changed. Most won't. You forgive because your peace costs too much to let someone else hold the key to it. Forgiveness is how you stop letting that person live rent free in your mind. How you stop dragging their mess into your quiet moments. How you say no more. Not because you're pretending it didn't happen, but because you're done letting it shape who you are. It doesn't mean you invite them back into your life. Forgiveness and reconciliation are not twins. One is an internal process. The other is a mutual decision. You can release them without returning to them. You can heal without hugging. Forgiveness is a spiritual detox. It clears the bitterness out so love, joy, and clarity can breathe. Again, that weight in your chest, that tightness in your jaw. Sometimes that's not stress. Sometimes it's the unspoken grudge you've been carrying like a badge. It's time to put it down. No one escapes hurt. But you can choose whether that hurt becomes your prison or your teacher. When you forgive, you're not saying it was okay. You're saying you're okay. You're saying, "I've cried, I've healed, and now I'm rising without baggage." You're taking your power back, not with anger, but with peace. That's real strength. That's how warriors heal. So don't wait for an apology that may never come. Don't stay angry hoping they'll feel your pain. They might never see it, but you can stop feeling it. You can wake up tomorrow lighter, freer, softer in the heart, and stronger in the spirit. Forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you do. You deserve the quiet that comes when the storm within you is finally over. You were never meant to be controlled by the chaos around you. You are not a thermometer, rising and falling with the temperature of others. You are the thermostat. You set the tone. You decide the climate of your spirit. When you let every loud voice shift your peace, you hand over power that was never theirs to hold. But when you claim your role as the one who decides how you feel, how you respond, how you live, you step into a quiet authority that can't be shaken. There will always be people who come in cold, bitter, angry, hard. They want to provoke warmth from you just to feel something, and others will come in hot, loud, reactive, throwing fire everywhere they go. They want to pull you into their storm so they don't have to stand in it alone. But you're wiser now. You don't match energy. You maintain yours. You don't let someone else's fire burn down. You're calm, you breathe, you pause, you choose. It's a powerful thing to decide, "I won't be moved by this." Not because you don't care, but because you care too deeply about your own soul to let every outside force disturb it. There's strength in being still when others are spinning. There's grace in responding with softness when you're met with rage. People will wonder how you stayed calm when everything screamed